Kingdom Hearts 3 was released 1 month ago, and instead of getting answers, we actually got more questions. So today we're going to talk about the 2 remaining members of the organization we'll still lack many informations about. I'm talking about LUXORD and DEMYX. Soon after you're done with the Monsters Inc. world in Kingdom Hearts 3, you can see this scene taking place in the Keyblade graveyard. So this scene is quite interesting because Xemnas tells us why he chose members 9 to 12.
Because our hearts are uber powerful.
Wrong.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
You have been brought together for another purpose. You 4 are going to reveal your greatest secret. The ancient Keyblade legacy that slumbers within you.
For Larcene and Marluxia, this was just half of a surprise because we already knew from the mobile phone game those Lauriam and Arena character were Keyblade wielders, but for LUXORD and DEMYX, damn, that was unexpected. Before we start the real talk, let's go back to the organization member recruitment with Xemnas.
The first 6 members of the original organization were all apprentices to Ansem the Wise, and the 7th and 8th members joined thereafter. The 13th member was Roxas, a Keyblade wielder.
Surprisingly enough, the 2 members we know nothing about were actually the first one to be recruited after Master Ansem apprentices became nobodies. When did this recruitment take place, it's still not real clear, but we can assume it started after Birth by Sleep ending and before Sora turns himself into a Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 1, leading to the creation of Roxas, the 13th member. In Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, we actually got a flashback happening during this recruitment. This scene plays once you're done with your second visit to the Hollow Bastion and shows us a dialogue between Zaxion and Xigbar.
Why are you even here? You and Zaldin were tasked to recruit new members. Have you forgotten, or were you procrastinating?
As if. I'm doing my job. I'll have you know, I found one just yesterday. Mar something. That puts the organization's count at 11.
As we just heard, the 2 persons in charge of the recruitment were Xaldin and Xigbar. And Xigbar tells us he recruited Marluxia just a day earlier. At this point, Larcene is not yet in the organization, but should follow soon after. As we know, they will pair up and end up being partner in crimes in Castle Oblivion.
Nice way to greet your old partner in crime.
As for DEMYX and LUXORD, well, at this point they were already in the organization and were recruited either by Xigbar or Xaldin. I would go for Xigbar, aka Luxu, as he's the one manipulating everyone basically. But hey, who knows, why not Xaldin? I would like to point out that those 2 characters are somehow sharing a common point with Larcene. I mean, they're blonde. It may seem like a dumb argument, but characters in the Kingdom Hearts universe sharing the same hair color is actually quite unusual.
I'm white.
I'm black. I'm yellow. I'm red. I'm blue.
And you know who else is blonde amongst the Kingdom Hearts characters? Well, I can think of Naminé and Ansem the Wise. I'm not claiming they are all connected, but still there might be some connection between one or more of those characters, right? I mean, if you look at Ansem the Wise, we'll still know pretty much nothing about his backstory.
I'm a fool. I spent years studying the workings of the heart. Yet it seems I still haven't learned a thing.
We know he used to do research on heart at Radiant Garden, but what about his backstory? Is he a father? He sure looks like a grown man, right? Must have a wife, children, or maybe some brothers and sisters? We don't know. He kind of reminds me of Dumbledore. Dumbledore is like this wise man you know almost nothing about before the last book, and then you learn about his sister and how he did many mistakes in the past and tried to just pay back for his crimes. That also applies to Ansem the Wise when you look at it. He did many mistakes, basically leading to the Organization 13 and everything that happens afterwards. For a few games now, he kept telling us how much he regrets the mistakes of the past. But hey, what are those mistakes exactly? Are they just about recruiting apprentice Xehanort? Has he been through family drama or something like that? We don't really know. As for where he is now, he's back at his laboratory. Not exactly with the same crew, but only the no trustful apprentices. But also a part of him is still existing in Sora's heart as Data's. We know that from the ending of Dream Drop Distance.
I felt that I ought to leave at least something behind. So I digitized myself and my research and hid them within Sora.
I'm pretty sure we're not over yet with this character, and he will surely make a comeback in Kingdom Hearts 4 or earlier. I've also mentioned Namine earlier, but actually I don't think she's related to any other characters but Sora, Kairi and this kind of stuff. She was introduced in Chain of Memories. The rules for becoming a nobody were not clear yet, but I'm pretty sure Nomura has other plans going on for her. Maybe a Riku and Namine love relationship. Anyone? Anyway, moving on to DEMYX.
Come on, dude. I'm useless. I'm chicken.
You're bizarre. Oh, he's gotta be the thief! Now that's just plain rude.
DEMYX was introduced in Kingdom Hearts 2 as a few scenes, then won't come back until Kingdom Hearts 3. We don't see him in Dream Drop Distance. We do see him in 358 Days Over 2, but most of the organization members' appearance in this game are not really relevant to the plot. Sadly, the only thing that defined DEMYX to me is that he is the one character no one takes seriously. Sora, Donald, Goofy, the Kingdom Hearts fanbase, even the organization.
Did they ever pick the wrong guy for this one?
How'd a wimp like you get into Organization 13?
What? You're not smart?
Well, you heard what Marley said. I don't have to be smart.
Or capable, or likable, or attractive. A cereal bowl would make a better vessel.
He doesn't even make an appearance in the final fight at the Keyblade Graveyard. He does end up joining the good guys by bringing a replica for Namine. He actually has some good lines once in a while.
You shouldn't judge anyone by appearance. Whoa now, you are way out of line. I am extremely imposing, when I want to be, which is admittedly almost never. I'm actually here on a top secret mission. Apparently, I'm so off everyone's radar that I'm just the guy to handle a special delivery.
But to me, is still lack of important character material. We do learn he was somehow related to the Keyblade. Does that mean he was a Keyblade wielder from the past and we might end up meeting his somebody later on in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross? Or was he an inhabitant of the Radiant Garden before the world falls into darkness? We don't know yet, but surely we will stay in touch with the mobile phone game updates. Another question keeps coming in the community about who is the Master of Masters. Could it be DEMYX? Well, you have to admit it is still possible in some ways, even though it will be surprising. As I said, DEMYX still lacks a bit of important character material, so that wouldn't seem likely, but who knows? Before the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, people were arguing Zigbar was the Master of Masters, because they both shared the same personality and the weird body gestures. But if you look at DEMYX, those arguments could also apply to him. In my opinion, he will have an important role.
Yes! DEMYX time!
Anyway, moving on to LUXORD.
I'd rather we just skip the formalities. The first to run out of time is the loser.
Come now. Are you really so unsophisticated that you decline a gentlemanly conversation?
Each argument I introduced for DEMYX also applied to LUXORD. He could be related to Ansem the Wise, Namine, Larxene or DEMYX. Just look at LUXORD and look at Ansem the Wise. They just look like the different version of the same person. He seems to know so much about what's going on and even gives Sora this mysterious wild card once you defeat him in the Keyblade Graveyard.
What's this? A wild card. You've earned it. Hang on to it. could turn the tables.
LUXORD also joined the candidates for the weird personality and weird body gestures to be the Master of Masters. Fun fact, he also is the favorite organization member of Tetsuya Nomura. The really interesting point to me about LUXORD is he just keeps playing games with Sora and the organization. He is being honest the whole time. He plays by the rules. The more I think about it, the more it reminds me of the Master of Masters giving the foretellers rules which they ended up not following, leading to them trying to avoid the Keyblade War, but actually causing it. If you assume LUXORD is related to all sorts of games, you can easily make the connection with the chess games played by young Master Xehanort and young Master Heracus. Were we playing a game with LUXORD the whole time, or was he playing with us? I can't wait to see him come back. Pretty sure he's not been defeated. He might even be the one organizing the Reaper game featuring Sora and Riku in the secret ending. He's related to games, and his element is time. And you know what game does that apply to? Let me know what you think about those theories in the comment section down below. This is all I can think of for now. Anyway, have a nice day and see you next time.